So recently in a tutorial, I mentioned these hard candy drops, and I basically said that I mixed it into my foundation, but I didn't really show you guys. I didn't really go in depth with it, and I got a comment asking how I use them and how I make them work. And so I figured I would do a dedicated video on this product because I really like it, and it is a drugstore, like I think it's kind of like a hidden gem of the drugstore. I really haven't heard that many people talk about it, and I believe it might be either $6 or $7. So the full name is the Look Pro Illuminate and Strobing Mixed in Drops, and the shade is White Pearl. I don't know if they have any other shades. I haven't seen any others. This is the only one that I've found. So I think the packaging is pretty cute. It just looks like this. It kind of reminds me of like a potion bottle or something like that, but you basically just undo it, and then you use this little cap and you push product into the thing, and then you can just drop it and you have your product. And there is what it looks like swatched on the hand. As you guys can see, it's really pretty. It kind of has a pink undertone. The formula is really thin and creamy, and I find it very easy to blend into the skin, and I do have it all over my face today, so as I'm talking about each way that I use it, I will be including a product demo so you guys can see it in action. So the first way that I use it is mixed in with a primer, and today I just used my Poreless Face Primer from e.l.f. and I added a few drops of the hard candy to that, and then I used a stipple brush just to apply it all over my face. And then I did blend it in with my fingers just because of the texture of the primer. And as you guys can see, that just creates a really beautiful glowing base. And you could use it like that just by itself. But I wanted to show you all the different ways that I use it. So next I went ahead and I used it with my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Foundation. I used the shade W1 to W2, and I mixed in a few drops, and I applied it with a Real Techniques contour brush, and I just put that all over my skin. And as you can see, even though I am using a luminous foundation, depending on your skin type, if you're more oily, then you might want to use a matte foundation. I have very dry skin, so I can get away with using a liquid illuminator on top of a luminous foundation. But as you guys can see, it just makes the foundation even more glowy and beautiful, and it just looks really natural. I've heard a few people complain about the way that it mixes in with foundation, so I'm not sure if there are certain foundations that it doesn't work with, but everyone that I've used it for, it's worked just fine. I've used it with the Josie Maran Vibrancy something foundation, the Marc Jacobs Remarkable, which is like a really matte, really full coverage one. I've used it with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, and it worked great with all of those. Next, I used it as an actual highlight on top of my cheekbones, and I mixed it in with the Josie Maran Argan Illuminator, I think it's called, which is way too dark for me. So basically in this instance, I used it to make it a little bit lighter. Obviously, as you guys can see on my skin, it's still a little bit dark, but it still gave a really beautiful kind of like a bronzy glow, but it did make the Josie Maran one more wearable on my skin. And then I did go ahead and set it with the Makeup Revolution highlighter in Radiant Lights, just because I always set my cream highlights with a powder one. I think that it makes it extra luminous and beautiful, and that's just something that I like to do. So as you guys can see, my skin is super glowy, and I just really like using the hard candy strobe drops. Even if you just use them by themselves on top of your cheekbones and you don't mix it with any other illuminator, it is still absolutely gorgeous. And the last way that I use this is as lip gloss. So I started off with my Maybelline lipstick in the shade Pink Please. I just put that all over my lips, and then I went ahead and took one drop of the hard candy drops, and I just put it onto the middle of my lips, and I kind of mixed it in. And this is not something you would typically think of for this type of product, but it actually is really comfortable on the lips. And as you guys can see, it is like a really pretty, like just a little extra gloss to the lips, and it works really well like this. Like I said, it's super comfortable, so it's worth trying on your lips, especially if you already own this and you've tried it on your face and you didn't like it on your face or something like that. Then you can try using it on your lips and still get some use out of it. So as you guys can see, the overall look is super glowy, and I just really love these drops. I think that there's a lot of bang for your buck. It's a hidden gem of the drugstore, and I would highly recommend it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you have any other questions about the drops, please leave them down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Sadie, not today. Talked about this. Really? In a tutorial. In one of my tutorials. Sadie! Hi guys. Oh my gosh. Sadie. Hi guys. Oh my God. Sadie. Okay, you can sit on my lap. That's okay. Well, that's not okay. Okay. And then there worked great with all of this. Next, I used it. I love you. I'm almost done filming, okay? I'm almost done. I love you too.